Hey boys and girls, Cursed Curator, and today we're covering the art of 1941. This has been a long time coming, honestly. I have not done an art video in a minute now. We have 6 lovely things to cover. We have 3 paintings and 3 sculptures. So starting with Tidying Up is an oil-on painting by American artist Isabel Bishop. It is currently in the permanent collection at the Indianapolis Museum of Art. Description: Tidying Up depicts a young, contemporary 1930s or 1940s working woman in an unguarded moment of checking herself in her hand mirror. Bishop's work generally focuses on young women, caught during the idle moments away from their jobs. Her active brushwork served to reflect the upward social mobility experienced by working women of this period. While her color palette recalls works of the Italian Renaissance, Bishop's subject matter is quickly rendered in lines and are expressive and dynamic. Her quick brushstrokes evoke the everyday activity and animation of the modern city. Historical information. Educated at the New York School of Applied Design for Women, Bishop was a part of a loosely organized 14th Street school, who were influenced by realism in Ashcan School. Of the Ashcan School. They painted scenes of daily life that concentrated on middle class and lower class peoples. Bishop focused on female subjects, usually in work settings. She spent more than 10 years painting in the secretaries, sales clerks, and blue collar workers. I don't know why I struggle with that. Who lived or worked in and around Union Square. Her subject was on women going about their everyday lives, eating, talking, putting on makeup, taking off their coats. These ordinary motions produced facial expressions that Bishop felt revealed the personality of the people she betrayed. Acquisition. The Indianapolis Museum of Art purchased Tidying Up from the Midtown Galleries in New York City in 1943. Let's take a gander at this bad boy. Okay, so it's a unfortunately smaller one, so we have to zoom in a bit here. Honestly, I get what she was going for. I just don't understand. So she viewed, of course, but you could see who these people were through how they, were doing their everyday things. When I see this, I'm like, this is kind of vain in my eyes, but it's important to, check yourself, that you have to, look good in a setting. That's pretty important. You don't want to see any food in your mouth, or rather your teeth. I wish it was a better quality, because this does look pretty good. And I see what they meant by it's reminiscent of the Renaissance. I can see that. That is really good work on her part. So let us go to the next one. But first, a quick little drink of water. This is fun being back in my swing of my schedule. Schedule might be a little bit weird soon, because I do want to start job hunting for fun. It's a little fun thing I do when I'm school. Napoleon in the Wilderness. Napoleon in the Wilderness is a 1941 surrealist painting by Max Ernst in the collection of the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. The figure in the foreground of Ernest's partner at the time, the surrealist painter Leonora Carrington. I guess they didn't stick around. That's unfortunate. Let's get a good look at this. Okay, this one we can actually see. Okay, and it doesn't seem inappropriate, I hope. Although telling here, it might be, it's hard to tell. So, it looks interesting. I'm trying to see what they're really going for. This is very some psychedelics going on here. If you we're taking some shrooms or something, this could be a really good time to see this. You can feel like you're really there. There's a totem pole. This is where I guess his ex would be. Or this is a pole. It's like a coral type thing going on here. I dig it. Next up, Moody's Pub. Moody's Pub is a 1941 painting by the Australian artist Russell Drysdale. The painting depicts a pub in the Victorian town of Seymour. The painting has been described as one of Drysdale's most celebrated paintings, and among the most frequently reproduced images of the 20th century Australian art. The National Gallery of Victoria acquired the work in 1942, its first acquisition of a Drysdale painting. Okay. Ooh. I think so. Drysdale really reminds me of I can't for the life of me I cannot remember the artist, but a while back there was this painting. It was of a German city. It was Berlin, I believe, and it kind of reminds me of this. I do know it involved a train, and there were some kids in the background. It's been so long, so forgive me. I can't remember. It kind of reminds me of that almost. I really do like this though. So this says Moody's Market, but it's referred to as a pub. Hmm. And look, there's the old gas pump with a little round thing here. The older car styles. These guys look goofy. It reminds me of King of the Hill almost. You're sitting out in the alley just chilling. Like, this guy looks sassy as fuck. That like, girl slay type beat. So we got another one. Herald Square Monument. The Herald Square Monument is a bronze sculpture by Lardo Taft in Herald Square, Chicago, Illinois, United States. It depicts General George Washington and the two principal financiers of the American Revolution, Robert Morris and Ham Solomon. Following Taft's 1936 death, the sculpture was completed by his associates Leonard Crennel, Nellie Walker, and Fred Torrey. Herald Square is depicted in the Michigan Wacker Historic District of Chicago's Loop Community area. The square was named for Captain Nathan Held, commander of the Fort Dearborn from 1810 to 1812. The sculpture is designated as a Chicago landmark on September 15th, 1971. So we actually did a video a while back. I believe it was like my first ever one and done, where we actually did cover a bit of a story of Ham Solomon. And it is pretty cool, we see him mentioned again. And I might use this, if it's big enough, as my oh, it is more than big enough. Okay, there's our boy. There's our boy George, the best president ever, guaranteed. We would have voted for him multiple times if it was allowed. But he said no. He said no to free terms. So we got these two fellows. Oh man, I can't really read it too well, unfortunately. I would read if I could. I think sculptures are my favorite form of art. Because not only do they last the longest, because paintings require much more maintenance, at least in my opinion, than a sculpture would, because they're gonna sit there for a long period of time. And of course, I know maintenance has to happen again. I imagine once, every 5 to 10 years, give or take, maybe. Painting, I feel like it has to be almost a year round. We keep paying attention to make sure nobody really throws stuff on it. With a statue, it's a lot harder to destroy. You have to actually use a sledgehammer or a bomb. But yeah, I'm gonna keep this here as my thumbnail because this is iconic. I love this. So let's go to the next. Excuse-moi. Bust of Mark A. Matthews. Dr. Mark A. Matthews is an outdoor 1941 bust depicting the minister and city reformer of the same name by Alonzo Victor Lewis, installed in Seattle's Denny Park in the U.S. state of Washington. Description: the cast bronze sculpture is approximately 3.5 feet, or 1.1 meters, tall. It rests on a stone pedestal and base that measures approximately 85 inches, 220 centimeters, tall. Inscription on the front of the best, or rather, I imagine it means whatever. Near the base reads Rev. Dr. Mark A. Matthews. The bronze plaque on the back of the base reads Alonzo Victor Lewis, sculptor. The front of the base depicts to the memory of Rev. Mark A. Matthews, DDLLD. I don't know what that means. Sorry. Preacher of the Word of God and friend of man, erected by his fellow citizens in 1942. History: the memorial was designed in 1941 and dedicated in the following year. It was surveyed and deemed treatment urgent by the Smithsonian Institution Save the Outdoor Sculpture Program in October 1994. Let's get a little better look at this one. This is something I've always noticed about people that have statues. Their hair is almost always like this, it's for the older fellers. But oh man, yeah, I see why they want to do some work on this, because this you can tell, it's oxidizing, it's green now. So some of these statues, I've noticed they can be more more of a copper or a black, although I imagine that's a different material. And over time, they just turn green. This is how it is. Statue of Albert Gallatin, or rather Gallatin, excuse me. Albert Gallatin is a bronze statue by James Earl Fraser It commemorates Albert Gallatin, who founded New York University and served as United States Secretary of the Treasury. It is located north of the Treasury Building in Washington, D.C., at 15th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue, northwest Washington, D.C. It was authorized by Congress on January 11th, 1927. It was dedicated on October 15th, 1947. The description reads Base Front. Albert Gallatin, Secretary of the Treasury, Genius of Finance, Senator and Representative, Commissioner for the Treaty of Ghent, Minister to France and Great Britain, and steadfast, champion of democracy, 1761 to 1849. It's going to be a good look at this one. Oh, man. Look at this one. The material was, oh boy. Hold on. Actually, let me see the material. A bronze statue. And it must be well maintained, because I don't see any oxidation going on here. Well, you know, it's a capital. I imagine it's almost year round. They're just checking this bad boy. It looks really good though. For a statue that, you know, came out like almost 100 years ago now. Yeah, it was made in like what, 1927, yeah? Oh wait, I'm sorry, 1941. So not 100 years ago. It was authorized on in 1927 though. It's kind of crazy though. It took so long well, with the government, of course it did. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This has been a rather short one, but yeah, I want to come out with something. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe for more, and peace.